Good morning and welcome to Studio 365 powered by TableThink. Today is Sunday, March 18th. My name is Joshua and I'm here in the studio with Pastor Kerrie Palmer, who studies life and tells the story of how to live the best life. And we are glad that you are starting your morning with us.
Joshua, Sunday morning. I'm telling you, Sunday is my favorite day.
That's right. Sunday is a great day. And this month's Fun Fact focus is on food that's being celebrated. And today is actually Sloppy Joe Day.
Oh, my.
I know. Not one of my favorites, at least. But it is a sandwich of ground beef, tomato sauce, and spices, and who knows what else. There are different versions of how the Sloppy Joe got started. But this is what's interesting. It's generally agreed that the iconic author Ernest Hemingway named it after his favorite restaurant. So Either way, I have brought you probably what's really the bottom of the barrel for Sloppy Joe. It's in a can, and I know that maybe that's not your favorite, but we do have our collegiate audio engineer, Donovan here, who I'm sure would take it home if you didn't want it.
Right. I think I'm going to give it to him in honor of all of his hard work, and
That's
I know
right.
he loves it.
Yeah. So.
And who knows, maybe some of our listeners will send some ideas of how we can like Sloppy Joes.
Exactly. And if you look behind you, I did make a pot of coffee, so I got you covered there.
If you notice, I did notice that. So thank you so much. So Studio 365 salutes
Ernest Hemingway and Sloppy Joes. So all right, well let's dive in.
Okay, here we are. We're at the basics, and we have been going through START for March. That's been our word. But today we're going to do something different. We're going to just take a break. I think Sundays are a good time to do this, to be refreshed and renewed as we start our new week. And so part of that is that we have to make some space, and we're doing that here on Studio 365. And one of the things that I have found, not only with myself, but many people that I'm around, that it has felt like to so many that we're kind of in stormy days right now, that it's a kind of a wild ride kind of season in our world. And so, I was thinking about you, Joshua, as I was thinking about the storms of life. I was thinking, you are a storm chaser.
That's right. Yeah, I used to actually live in Tornado Alley. This is probably not the smartest thing to do, but during my college years especially, we would go out chasing storms and tornadoes. Probably the most freakiest thing I ever saw was 2 tornadoes at one time.
Wow.
In my rearview mirror. I was going the other way, believe me. And lots of interesting things to see. I think my only regret of storms, because I've seen a lot of fun stuff, was I have not got to go through a hurricane yet. And those are a lot of fun because there's an eye to the hurricane.
Okay, I'm going to just trust you on the storms are fun, but I am fascinated with the eye of the storm. I always have been, because of it's so fascinating. You have this huge storm going all the way around, and in the very center, the eye of the storm is calm.
Right. Yeah, it's very fascinating. As a matter of fact, the National Weather Service flies planes through that, and you can actually see that there's just this calm area in the middle of the hurricane.
So I think that's crazy, and it's something that we can take to heart and go deep with in our walk with God.
Right.
And so I had kind of been thinking about today, and I wrote this a little bit, and just see what you think. And it's really about when we're in the storm and the challenges of that, and when a storm brings us loss that bankrupts the soul, and when the familiar leaves, when plans for the future are erased, when aloneness comes and there doesn't seem to be a way out, there is a simple, profound truth that remains. In the middle of the storm, in the most unreasonable moments, in surprising ways, in purity and power, God will give strength to soar as wings of eagles. You see, one moment of asking God to move into the storm changes everything. God will give light in the darkness, give hope in the hopelessness, grace in the guilt, life in the futility. Because when we discover the eye of the storm is a sacred place to find God, to rest and heal, we find that even in the storm, we can have a calmness that is amazing. And it's really what Isaiah 40:27-31 is all about. And I chose the Message translation today as a way to really rest in what God is telling us. Would you read that, Joshua?
Sure. Why would you ever complain, O Jacob, or whine, Israel, saying, God has lost track of me? He doesn't care what happens to me? Don't you know anything? Haven't you been listening? God doesn't come and go. God lasts. He's creator of all you can see or imagine. He doesn't get tired out, doesn't pause to catch his breath, and he knows everything inside and out. He energizes those who get tired, gives fresh strength to dropouts. For even young people tire and drop out. Young folk in their prime stumble and fall, but those who wait upon God get fresh strength. They spread their wings and soar like eagles. They run and don't get tired. They walk and don't lag behind.
This is a word that has held me for so long. It is a word that tells me that even in the storm, God is there. And that if I face the storm, understanding that God is in the eye of the storm, and that I can trust God enough to be calm in the midst of it all, that in that awareness that I can ride through the storms of life. So Joshua, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Let's hear today's life list.
Okay, number 1, take a break today. Just breathe. Number 2, when you're in a storm, go to the eye of the storm. Number 3, be still and know God. And that's a great word for all of us from Psalms 46:10. Number 4, get fresh strength from God for this coming week. Number 5, be energized for what is to come as you start the week. And so I just want to encourage all of us, let's take a breath, go to the eye of the storm. And Joshua, I'll talk to you and our friends tomorrow in Studio 365.
What a great life list today. And if you are enjoying listening to this podcast, I just want to encourage you, whatever platform you're listening on, most likely has a place where you can leave a review and say something and give us a rating. We would really appreciate it if you could go and do that for us. It just means the world to us to know that we're connecting with you. So we hope that you enjoyed this week with us, and we want to start you out tomorrow morning bright and early. So come back to Studio 365, and we will see you tomorrow.